Today we are going to talk about how to use loop to draw some simple shapes. Okay, loop is one of the most useful ways to control the flow of your program. The other is decision making, like a if-else switch, and then is loop. There are different type of loops that you can use, like a while loop, do while loop, and a for loop. What I'm going to show you is how to use for loop. Okay, let's look at this example program. Okay, on this form, what I'm going to do is just to simply put a label. Okay, I want to demonstrate how to repeatedly display 10 times the same message. Okay, so we have to use a loop. You cannot just manually input the same message 10 times. That's doable. But if I ask you to repeat the message 10,000 times, that will be impossible to do manually. Okay, so the smart way is by using a loop. To do that, I'm going to put a button to trigger the repetition. Okay, so just put the button here and change it to like Joe. Okay, and then I double click on the button to the code view. Okay, button one click. Okay, and here's how you write the code for the loop. Okay, for integer I equals 0, I less than 10, and I plus. Okay, this is the basic structure for the for loop. And I is called an iterator. This is the signal that you're gonna look at for each step of the loop. The loop will be executed a number of times. The number of times will be in the second evaluation, I less than 10. So every time you have to look at this expression to evaluate it. If it is true, the loop will be executed. Otherwise, the loop will stop. So this is very important. And then the third part of this statement, I++, is gonna be executed after every step, so that the value of I will be incremented. Which means that the loop is moving toward the ending condition. Okay, so the first step I will be 0, the second step I will become 1, so on and so forth. I will keep increasing until it reaches 10. When it is 10, I is not less than 10, so the loop will be stopped. Okay, then what I need to do is to run a string, A equals to empty string. Okay, this is just empty string. I want to use this string to store the message that I want to display. So A plus equals the message. Just say hello. And I want to display each message in a separate line. So I'm gonna add a new line sign, hello, forward slash, and this is a special character in the new line. So after hello is displayed, the cursor will go to the next line. Okay, and see, here is the finish of the loop. And what I'm going to do is just to display the message, the string, to the label. Okay, that's it. Now I want to check whether this is working. Okay, show. Okay, it is working 10 times. Hello is displayed on my message, on my label. Okay, now since you understand how this works, what I'm going to do next is to replace hello with a symbol, any symbol. Okay, now I just manually determine that this symbol gonna be a star, and what you can do is to put a text box onto your form and then take the symbol from the text box. You don't have to hard code the symbol into the program. You can take the symbol dynamically from the interface, and that symbol is can be determined by the user. Okay. Now we run this again. You can see a vertical line is displayed. Okay, this is how you display a vertical line. And the next question is, how do you display a horizontal line? Okay, that is simple. You just remove the new line character. Okay, now a horizontal line will be drawn on the label. Okay, as simple as that. And now we can draw vertical line, we can draw horizontal line. If we want to draw a two-dimensional shape, we need to combine these two ways to draw the lines. Okay, so we can draw a horizontal line 10 times, then we will have a square. Okay, now let's do that. Okay, but to do that, the loop control structure will be much more complicated. So instead of using one loop, we were gonna use double loops, two loops, embedded loops, which one loop is embedded in another loop. Okay, here's how you do it. You're gonna create another loop, a equals 0, a less than 10, and then a plus plus. Okay, this inner loop, this a loop, we're gonna draw a horizontal line. So I don't have this new line character in the string. For this for loop, this is very important. Now I have to use these curly brackets to determine which part of the code is controlled by the I loop. Okay. So for each step in the I loop, in the outer loop, okay. First, it will draw a horizontal line. After that loop is finished, then I will add a new line character to this horizontal line. And then the I loop will go on to continue to enter the next loop. Okay. So in this case, the first I loop, in the first I loop, the J loop will loop 10 times. Okay, so one line will be drawn, and then it will change line. The next, in the second step, another 10 another line will be drawn. So this will loop 10 times, and then the square will be displayed. Let's look at the results. Okay, we can see the square, but because of the size of the character and the font style, you can see this doesn't look like a square because of the line space and the character space are not the same. What we can do is just simply to change. Let's go back to the design view, and we select the label. We can select a font family, which is font style, which has roughly the same character space and the line space. That is a Courier New. Courier New. Okay, let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, now let's check this again. Okay, much better. Okay, but the vertical space still bigger than the horizontal space. So what we can do is to just to put a space, okay, after the star. So now it will look much better. Okay, Now it's a solid square. So now we can draw a two-dimensional shape. How do we change the size of each horizontal line so that a triangle can be drawn? That's a ultimate question, you know. But in this tutorial, what I can do is only to give you some hints. I cannot just do the homework, give you the answer of the homework so that you just copy my answer and submit it. That's not the point. So I can just give you some hint. You have to change the, instead of here, in the inner loop for each horizontal line, instead of drawing 10 stars, you have to draw a different size of stars, different number of stars, and the number of the stars is determined by the number of I. Okay, so that will allow you to start thinking. Okay, so that will complete this tutorial. Okay, good luck with the homework.